And it's time for business. Let's talk about today's news and give me a call.
All right. Little impromptu introduction, a couple of seconds late. But anyway, before I get into news stories, I want to make sure I encourage people because we got some stories coming up here, or a story coming up here that's relevant to the importance of being prepared according to what that means to you. And so the biggest thing is education. Continue to learn on how to protect, provide for yourself, because no one's coming to save you at the end of the day. When stuff hits the fan, it is you and whatever community you've built and the like. So I want to encourage you, forpatriots.com/RTD. If you, that link there will take you directly to this page here. As you guys can see, the emergency preparedness deals, opportunities for those who are interested in getting a hold of utensils needed, energy, food, water, you name it. And it's always available for you guys. So definitely take advantage of it. If you're interested, that's forpatriots.com/RTD. The link is in the description to get more details. And of course, a good opportunity though for those who's interested. So, all right, let me just get into the headline. So this is what caught my attention. So I've been kind of behind the scenes, running, scrambling, trying to just basically get more information on what's going on here. But as you guys can see here, this came out from Disclosed TV. Just basically, let me see when it came out, 8:26 p.m. So literally, once I saw this, I started trying to do things on the back end here because that wasn't part of what I was bringing to the table tonight. But I'm like, hey, this is important because there's a lot of things that can come from this, and hopefully it's not negative. And I just not saying I got a funny feeling, but what better way to get a large amount of people, i.e., Jews and Christians, together, and for a unfortunate event to occur, just to ripe grounds for something like that. But curious to what you guys think. So here we go. March for Israel in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, tomorrow, is elevated to a Tier 1 threat level by the Department of Homeland Security. And so just to give you an idea, here's the different levels here. And it says a significant events with national and or international importance that require extensive federal interagency support. And so this is a significant event that there will be a lot of law enforcement and the like. And as I was going through this little thread here that was posted, a lot of uncomfortable things being said here. And so somebody said, this is propaganda. And then somebody else here says J6 setup coming. And so, and what made me really think about this in a different way was that our country's been flooded with only God knows who. And of course, those that are on the payroll, I've seen more than enough video footage of foreigners coming in with prepaid debit cards. And so clearly they're being compensated for their time, energy, and effort and everything in between and whatever else. So you got people who are literally looking for opportunity, and you got a lot of people who are on a payroll for whatever is planned down the line. So a lot of people say civil unrest, some type of UN, sleeper cells and terrorist sleeper cells, so whatever. Anyway, we don't know. We don't know. God forbid we find out. But I'm just thinking tomorrow, you're going to have a large amount of people gathered together with good intentions, because you have a lot of people, especially believers and people of the Jewish descent, that are in support of Israel defending themselves, even though there's more to that story. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. And so it's one of them things where people with good intentions somehow, some way can always end up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And tomorrow, unfortunately, with all this stuff going on in the world, it just wouldn't be a surprise to me, and I'm assuming you guys as well, if there was some type of incident. You know what I'm saying? Just what better way to get people together and to just cause chaos and pandemonium and use it for some type of trigger for something else. So who knows? But I don't want to, sit up here and, go, complete fear, doom and gloom, but never let a good opportunity go to waste is how it's always played out for the people who's trying to control this narrative and everything else. So just keep that in mind. And I'm curious to get your thoughts. So what else is going on with that? So here we got, let me bring this on the screen right here. Bring this on the screen so you guys can see what I see here. It says National Guard to assist DC police at March for Israel, the mayor says. So literally, I wouldn't be surprised if you have law enforcement with good intentions there to protect and serve. But like always, and I think a lot about the January 6th, I remember the night before, going on air talking about something didn't feel right. I'm like, it's a setup. It's unfortunate. You get a lot of Trump supporters there. It's a clear cut pathway to infiltrate it with agents of all types of agencies to cause havoc. And of course, it was stirred on by a lot of people who are there for the sole purpose of making this turn it into a national event like they did. So it's good to say that there's going to be a lot of bad actors with badges on in that environment as well, and something could pop off. Just keep it at that, man. But something, because definitely, and yesterday, just praying about this, man, because this is something that, just good intentions can always turn up going bad. But real quick here, it says on Monday, the National Guard will be assisting local police at March for Israel scheduled for Tuesday. At a press conference, Bauer said the D.C. Metropolitan Police will assist the National Guard at some traffic points during the March of Israel, which she said is expected to have tens of thousands of people in attendance. She said that she was briefed on the demonstration and the officials will continue to monitor, yada, yada, yada. So, once again, it says Washington Post reported that according to a permit submitted to the National Park Service, the organizers are expecting 100,000 attendees to show up in support of Israel as it continues its month-long war with militant groups and Hamas. And that's what the point I want to get to in a minute, because the next little clip I'm going to show you, I linked it. I actually uploaded it to the Rethinking Dollar Rumble because it's a very interesting full-length 6-minute clip that gives you a lot more detail as to what's really behind all of this activity. It has nothing to do solely with the terrorist acts. It's a lot about the money, follow the money, and the energy, of course. But so they're expecting 100,000 people. So it's very concerning. Keep it moving. So this is my next point here. We talked about this before, and a month plus into it, more information has come out. More people have had a chance to, get a chance to digest what's really going on and get alternative perspectives on things. And so this clip here, is something that I shared on my Twitter. So if you want to see it right away, just go to Rethinking a Dollar, you'll see it. But it says here, this is from Going Underground. And so this is a little news excerpt, 6 minutes long, but it's very detailed, and the dollar signs involved with this Israeli crusades, as I mentioned earlier. And it's all about natural gas and oil. And I think I saw something about the potential of $435 billion of untapped resources that is surrounding that Gaza area and off the coast. And Israel is basically laying their claim on that region. And that's why this will go on until they probably finish the deal. So my point is, you got a lot of people who are really thinking that a lot of this is biblical in nature, where you have a lot of, prophecies, starting to come together, yada, yada. But as I mentioned before, you have a lot of people who are trying to orchestrate this that have an agenda. And the agenda, of course, is to basically steal, kill, and destroy at all costs for energy and the resources. So I want to encourage you guys to take a minute to listen to this and, listen to this. It's very in-depth and very informative and gives you another viewpoint as to what's going on. And so it says, this the person said, why are the powerful U.S. and neocon colonial European countries all conspiring against 2.3 million people in Gaza to help Israel ethnically cleanse Gaza and occupy it? Ethnically cleanse Gaza and occupy it. The reasons are the same as every other colonial onslaught: resources. Gaza, Palestine is rich in energy reserves. So, yeah. And they put a lot of interesting facts together to back all that up. So encourage you to check that out. And I'm actually going to put a link. Let me see. I'm going to put a link in the description. I was scrambling behind the scenes trying to put together something concise and to the point. And so copy. So I'm going to put this in the chat real quick so you guys can see it. And I encourage you to check it out. Let me see here. Let me grab because what I did, I took the audio portion and put it in a readable format so you guys could read it if you want, and then the video link is there too. So let me just put this in the chat real quick, and then I'll move on. So yeah, something different today, running behind schedule and scrambling behind the scenes, so bear with me. Feel free to throw some thoughts and ideas out there. So let me just set this up here. All right, so let me save it here. So yeah, so I'll put the link in the description real quick so you guys can go check it out if you guys want to. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Lots of other things to talk about. Let me close some screens. Got too many windows open. And as always, man, definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts on things. Forgive me if I'm not responding because I'm trying to get everything situated. Okay, so outside of the event tomorrow, just more development of what's happening on Main Street. And I thought this was interesting as well. So here we have the Louisville Ford workers reject labor deal, indicating possible continuation of UA strikes. And so I haven't followed the strike game lately just because I know here in Detroit, everybody's back to work. They agreed upon terms, wasn't what they wanted, but they got something. But it looks like possible other states might not be up to snuff yet. But it says, despite UAW union securing tentative labor deal before in late October, there seems to be division regarding the contract's ratification. And it says that it's indicated overnight vote by Ford employees in Louisville, Kentucky. It says about 2,200 plant workers voted yes and 2,800 voted no. So the vote was also revealed on Facebook. About 55% of the production workers voted against the new 4-year contract, while 69 workers skilled voted for it. So it's going to be a little bit of a standoff down there. So in the meantime, it's a couple people, I'm sure, not working still. So we'll see how this unfolds. But just, continuing to strike at the point where we're heading into very turbulent waters for the economy. It's not ideal, but go get what you can, man, while you still can. So what else is going on here? Okay. What we're talking about, just doing the best you can with what you can, being prepared, yada, yada. And so here's an interesting headline that caught my attention just because it's one of the things where you really can't plan for it. But then again, knowing that the orchestrators of all this craziness going on in the world, they're literally trying to cut off food, water, and energy. Like, those three resources are necessities for life. And literally, it's all controlled by a very small few conglomerates. And even with that, they're trying to restrict us on what we can do there. And when it comes to water, a couple of years ago, they commoditized water, meaning that it's like a publicly tradable asset to them. So eventually down the line, it's going to be manipulated. The price of it will be determined by a small few. And the way they would rather have it is like, you get a cup of water. It's going to cost you. You have to do a lot of things to get a cup of clean, fresh water. That's how sick these people are. So this is just something to pay attention to. So I'll thumb through this real quick. And it's really been on my mind. And for those who tuned in Friday when I was talking with Mario, I'm always looking for new ways to, position myself and my family. So I'm always looking for, deals on everything. And so I came across some very interesting things that help out in this department here, but it's, quite expensive though, but they're well worth it. But anyway, it says Latin America is running out of water real quick. It says the traffic through the Panama Canal is nearly half capacity these days. Normally 40 ships take the world's greatest shortcut through the locks each day. Last week, canal to reduce daily passage to 25. So ships ain't going, water level is extremely low. And of course, it's impacting people on the mainland. It says more worrying still, however, is the fact that Panama is not only the Latin American country currently facing water scarcity. It says to the contrary, the entire region is in the grips of a dry spell, a historic drought. So think about this. Think about just this weather. And once again, we can go conspiratorial, we can go conspiracy facts, whatever you guys want to choose. But with all these abnormal occurrences with the weather, some people got different, whatever cycle, the sun, the moon, the stars, whatever. Okay, but don't forget weather manipulation and the fact they have the technology to do whatever they want, whenever they want. I'm sure we can all probably agree on that. Okay. So we have some areas where it gets flooded with water. Then we got some areas where this is just a drought. While in, I was listening to Joe Rogan, a clip, and they were saying, I think it's in the UAE, like literally the prince, the king, or whoever is the head ruler, he literally pays to have it rain once a week in the country for 52 weeks. And over here in the West, that's not something you actually we hear about often, is that, they got the tools to shoot up particles in the sky to cause it to rain over entire city and country damn near every week. So they can pay for rain over there. But in Latin America right now, they got a drought. And of course, they can't pay for rain because where the funds going to come from. So you see how, things aren't what they seem on the surface. But real quick, it says here, with record with a record 3,800 fires ripping through the state of the Amazonas this month, with their river highway drained. It says riverine communities face emergency level shortages in food, medicine, and drinking water, while endangered river dolphins and other species are dying in mass. It says, meanwhile, farmers from Dominican Republic to Argentina are reporting millions of dollars in crop losses. The Dominican Republic still is border with Haiti over a water dispute. Mexico City is rationing water due to reservoirs at historic level, low levels at the end of whatever. So here we had Central America all the way down to South America right now, as summer's about to start. And the lower we go below the equator, summer's starting, and they got a drought. That's millions of people right now that will be impacted. So just think about that. And this is how I love, not love, but this is how, I stay dialed into world events, because I always think about, what if I was in their shoes? How would I react? How would I respond? I'm thinking like, okay, knowing that they're under the same tyrannical government style policies that I am here, and knowing that their country leaders probably all signed up for World Economic Forum's, Build Back Better policies, and knowing that Bill Gates, is down there doing damage as well, I'm thinking like, so let me see what can I do on my own to minimize, so you can't stop, but how can you minimize the impact of events like this? And so that's why I always preach, do what you can when you can. Education is key, but then you got to take some action, small steps according to what you can afford and everything else. So a little side rant there, but it's just these stories here that always touch home for me, that lets me know that, man, hey, every moment that everything is functioning properly in your life, you're blessed. You're blessed. Never discount your blessings, no matter how big or how small they are, because other people, other places suffering big time. And, okay. And so let me see. Okay, so let me share something else. I meant to do this, but as I mentioned, I was scrambling earlier. But this is another event, man, that it hits home for me as well. Let me just real quick. I'm gonna stop ranting a little bit, but I actually shared. I shared a little video clip earlier on Instagram. On Telegram. So if you're not a part of the RTD Telegram, go sign up so you can stay up to date. And so let me see here. Real quick. So this is something. Oh dang, I can't even show it. This is another event. If they let me show it, which they probably won't. Shoot. Give me 1 second. I am not as prepared as I would like to be, but then again, this is what a real live talk show is like. Okay, so let me just share this with you, man, because this is another little event that kind of touches home for me a little bit. Okay, so as you guys can see here, talking about weather, preparedness, things you can't prepare for, but then things happen. So Iceland, I'm just gonna be real quick. Iceland, man, this is, Iceland is. So I lived there for almost a year and a half, 2 years, and this city here, Grindavik, it's about 20 minutes from the airport, 20 minutes outside of Reykjavik, the capital, and so beautiful city, great people. It's just, it's just unfortunate, but then again, it's an island, and it's a volcano at that. So it's subject to happen. But then again, over the weekend, I'm not sure if you guys paid attention to this, but over the weekend, I think it was Saturday or Friday, they had 1,400 earthquakes in this region, the Grindavik region. So when I saw that, I'm thinking like, there's just no way that event, it did a buildup of a lot of earthquakes. But to have 1,400 in a 24 to 48 hour time frame, little small tremors, but all that smallness in the air, you should see the heat map. All that smallness adds up. And here you got a city right now that's evacuated. So they evacuated the entire city. It's about, it's about 3,800. And so, and the video I shared earlier, okay, so here's a little map. Let me see if I can zoom in. So here's the city on right here, and then you got the capital right here, and the airport, Keflavik, is right here on the coast, to the left, if you guys can see that. So it's like literally right off the coast. And they have a hot geothermal bed in the city called the Blue Lagoon, which is like a national attraction. It's just beautiful, man, beautiful. But anyway, point in case is 3,800 people evacuated, and now what's caught my attention today? They got video footage of like the city starting to crack. So large cracks are going throughout the city, and the smoke is coming up. So, long story short, it's about to blow, and it's not going to just be an isolated event. But then again, another natural or unnatural event taking place right now. Tragedy, stuff you can't really prepare for. Imagine, and it's another thing. Imagine, doing everything you can, being responsible, your house paid for, your life, everything's good. You got all your food, your iron, your gold, your silver, and then the ground underneath you gives way, and hot lava comes up to where now you're scrambling, trying to figure out how you're going to provide and where you're going to go to, and just, life events. Okay, that was a little side note there. That was a little something extra. Okay, but okay. Then here's another event. These are natural or unnatural occurrences in life that some people are experiencing, but put yourself in their shoes. What would you do? How would you think? You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, you better be praying. Because, solar superstorm may shut down internet for months, scientist warns. And so, of course, a lot of people, I think TB talking about the sun flares and things like that. And, a lot of things that I don't dive into. But once again, I think this was shared in Telegram on RTD community page. So I'm like, let me jump on this and just put it out there, because if the internet goes down, they're saying it's going to be a couple months before it come back up. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to disrupt our lives if that was to be the case. So, yeah, I'm not going to go too deep. Okay, so here's another interesting topic. We're going to be hearing more about this because something is happening this week. Congress has 5 days to avert a shutdown. And we've been talking about shutdowns forever. It's always a last minute thing. Something gets passed. It's going to be another short-term bill. But it says under current congressional funding authorization, the government is set to go and shut down on November 17th, which should be what? November 17th is Friday. Yeah. So it says when lawmakers return to the Capitol on November 13th, they'll only have 4 days until its deadline. So our politicians, man, our government is so damn useless. Them people, man. Oh, my goodness. It's just, man, these people, man, they live in a whole different reality. They don't know nothing about what's happening with your average person. So anyway, they got a lot of stuff they got to figure out. And of course, they don't kick the can, but it's not the ideal time to be having issues with the government and needing to continuously borrow when you're getting downgraded. You know what I'm saying? And then the next article here says U.S. Treasuries are not safe. It says warning issued after Moody's downgrades Biden rating to negative. It's funny how they put Biden. And as I always say, every president put in on what we're about to experience. So anyway, yeah. So it's funny that, they just say U.S. Treasuries are not safe. Right. Everybody's getting out of Dodge. And the truth is, who's buying them? U.S. citizens are buying them. I got a little video short I'm putting together right now. So just something worth listening to. Okay, what else we got here? And is another way to never let a crisis go to waste. Why not make money off of it? Cyber catastrophe bonds gain traction among investors as hack attacks soar. So here we got the product. They're creating a financial product off the threat of cyber attacks. So not only are they somehow, some way involved with a lot of these entities that cause all these attacks, they do it deliberately on vulnerable companies and the technology they probably have. They meaning, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of government agencies, and they've been spending millions and billions and trillions of unknown funds. It's good to say they've been funding a lot of things that are probably for things such as this, but the cyber polygon event, that's an entire government structure headed by the World Economic Forum to try to just create a cyber havoc on the world. And what better way to cause a problem and then come in with the solution to make money off of it other than create a commoditized product in the form of a bond? So it says here, a leading European and U.S. specialist insurer issued the market's first cyber catastrophe bond earlier this year. The insurer is now considering issuing a new cyber cat bond valued at $100 million, as reported by whatever. It says a research focus and insurance links, whatever. It says similarly, that Axis Capital is readying a 75 cyber bond. Cat bonds transfer difficult to insure risk for major corporations to capital market investors for high yield returns that have traditionally focused on natural disasters like hurricanes and floods. So all the things that happen naturally for companies that are exposed to extreme risk. Most insurers won't cover those companies because of their international, widespread operations. So they'll create a bond, give them funds, and more than likely this stuff is set up to where they'll never actually pay out. But then again, in the short term, they can earn interest off these because people will buy into these things to get yield. So another product that will be beneficial at first for those who get in first, but a problem for those at the very end who can't get out or get paid when stuff hit the fan, because it's going to hit the fan. But the point in case is turn a crisis into some way to make money. Same thing was happening in Israel and Gaza. All about the bread. Okay. And so I'm sure everybody heard about the AI pen by now. Humane's AI pen is the $1,097.95 wearable device challenging smartphone. So I won't go too much in this, but it's a lot of videos out there. A little small device you wear on you, shine a light on your phone, you talk to it, it translates, it does everything a phone could do plus some. It's like a computer on your chest. And the first thing I saw that is, I don't think I'll need one of those. I don't need one because not only have I ain't never been so excited about having a cell phone, but it's become essential for life due to connectivity and everything else. But now they're getting a little carried away. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're paying deliberately for your surveillance outside of your phone. You're going to wear the damn thing and you're going to put it on your chest. And they got cameras, they can see everything. So literally, they got the Ring systems on everybody's door around the country. That's eyes and ears. They got police now wearing the damn surveillance things to catch everything. You got cameras every a quarter of a mile on the freeway. So it's like, man, like this is all geared towards that surveillance state that they're building towards. And then they create it as a consumable product that people are excited to pay for. So people are paying for their surveillance even more. So I'll pass on this, but it could be, I'm sure a lot of people are going to have it. It's all about the younger generation. They're going to have it. So the younger generation is going to use it and it will be everywhere, just like the Ring doorbell. Anyway, keep it moving. Okay. So that's it, man. That's it. I ain't going to bore you no more. But in the meantime, let's get the phone lines open. I went over a lot of things today, man. And I want to make sure that I give everybody a chance to let their voice be heard. So if you want to, let's talk, man. Let's talk and see where it takes us. The greater the conversation, the longer we stay on, folks. So give me something to work with. And let's make it worth everybody's time here. Let me get my phone open. Definitely want to hear thoughts on anything. We touched on a lot of things. And, for my believers out there, I think definitely, tomorrow, Tuesday, March for Israel in DC. Let's just pray that God's hand of protection is over the people who's going and that nothing bad comes about. And all the information I shared tonight was just an over-exaggerated rant. That's what I hope and pray for. Because I don't want to be right. That's one thing I don't want to be right. Let me real quick also, for those who are interested, man, always scrambling. Your boy stays scrambling. I am getting some calls. Give me 1 second. Let me see here. Let me close this. All right. Forgive me. I'm gonna get you on here. Let me get you on here. Ooh. All right. Hello, caller. Say where you calling from.
Hey, Mike. Phil from North Dakota. How you doing?
Phil from North Dakota. I'm doing fine, my friend. What's on your mind tonight? Give me something.
A lot. So I've been wanting to ask you this question for 3 weeks, so I hope you don't 86 this question. So you do the live talk, Mike. So I've been following you for like 3 years. No cap.
Okay.
As the youngins would say.
Appreciate you.
So when live chat would come on, yeah, man. So when live chat would come on, man, we would get like, I don't know, like I would say at least 4 to 6 callers.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's more like Mike Live for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we get like 1, 2 callers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're being pressured or what. But
yeah.
I don't know, man.
I can tell you straight up. I can tell you.
You'll get like a rumble situation going on where we can be more free about what we talk about. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe it's shortening it due to the controversial topics, due to censorship, or maybe you're being pressured now because you're being monetized. But these are some questions I've been wanting.
That's fair. I hear you. It looks like we got disconnected there, but no. So the reason I decided to dial back. Oh, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so the reason I decided to dial back was because I noticed that the algorithms, as I mentioned before, a month ago, years ago, the closer we get into chaotic time frames, the algorithm won't be as favorable, and so it's going to be more so like will I even be reaching people at this current moment? And so on the back end of everything, I'm not reaching people no more, and then the people who want to be reached, they're not being contacted. And then the monetization side of things also is impactful, because to put time and research and study and everything like that, and to come on live and try to give my best and to not be fully rewarded for my efforts is like, okay, it's kind of discouraging. At least I'm like, let me just do the best I can to make sure I connect with my main people who show up all the time. And then I'll dial back, try to get as much as I can in a shorter time frame, because even on the replays, a lot of people aren't even, getting notified or don't even see it in their feed anymore. And people are being unsubscribed without, even knowing about it. So it's like I'm fighting against a monster. So it's like, I'm not quitting, but I'm not going to put as much energy as I used to, because when the channel was smaller, I reached more people. So that's kind of why I dialed back some.
I agree with you. And one last thing before I let you go, somebody else to talk. I want to see more from you. I want to see more street Mike, where you go out and talk to people in the streets instead of just Mario and Mike. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to just be in your head and you think, because we've been following you for a long time, and it's not about our voices being heard, because really what you provided for us is a think tank.
Okay. Well, hey, that's some good feedback there. I appreciate that.
That's priceless.
All right.
But what now it's more like is what Mike thinks. To some degree. I'm not trying to give you. I'm not trying. Yeah, right. I'm not like, because I still subscribe. I'm still your fan.
Appreciate you, man.
But I do want to see you doing more out in the streets, talking to people, like doing more interviews, right? Do just a little bit more, like on that sense, because really, it's not like you're our eye in the sky, but you bring a different perspective that's not necessarily biased, but you bring more information to the ill-informed than the average Joe,
Well, hey, appreciate you, man. And those words of advice will be heeded. So I thank you for calling and sharing your input, man. I appreciate that for real. Thank you.
Man, you're doing good, man.
Thank you, my friend. Be good. Oh, okay. That's some good feedback, man. I appreciate that. Definitely 100. So, and also like, so I've been trying to, upload more, little short clips or whatnot, things that actually have a chance of reaching people. And, the production for those are a lot easier, because I can just take an article, put a spin on it, share it, and then it goes where it has to go, where I don't have to prepare as much. It's just, I can share my thoughts off the top of my head and be good. And so doing so, definitely, if you haven't subscribed to Rethinking That on Rumble, because eventually they're working on some software stuff. I'm going to be streaming on both in real time. And I'll probably end up at the 30-minute mark or so, cut off YouTube and then go on Rumble to finish up, and then open it up so we can talk about whatever. Because over there, algorithms, are a lot more favorable. I've been getting like, way more views on Rumble than here. So, but anyway, it's a give or take. I'll do the best I can to try to stay plugged in. And forgive me for ranting. I'm forgetting. I got calls. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get you on here. Shoot. Give me 1 second here. That's when you got. I don't have call waiting on this phone here. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Hey there. How you doing? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? Calling from New York, man. I really love this show. Wanted to say, man, I really appreciate you keeping the people woke. And I just have a request, maybe, because you always do go into detail and go into depth, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know, as far as the gold and silver is concerned,
mm-hmm.
do you honestly think that if there was an economic crash, because I've heard this Build Back Better agenda
mm-hmm.
and this push for this globalism. Do you think if there was an actual collapse and we were being forced to digital currency, that there would be a market in which you can use, the physical value of gold and whatnot to buy and purchase like regular everyday items such as, food and whatnot. Because I feel as if the government really wants to crack down on defendants and people that aren't gonna, comply with this new system and all this AI and like say for example another planned demic and people they're not gonna have nowhere to go. Nobody knows how to fish and farm and live in the wilderness, so they're gonna have to end up running back to the government. And what I honestly think is gonna happen is even those that have gold and whatnot, I feel like they're still gonna have somebody on the inside that's gonna be connected to the system in order to get certain things that they wouldn't be able to get with just gold, because it's different forms of it. There's the bars, there's this and that, So I kind of wanted to know your thoughts on how exactly you'd go about using that in a practical, everyday, day-to-day basis,
Right. Good point. So real quick, off the top of my head, if things get as bad as some projected to get, then, using gold and silver won't be ideal, of course, just because you won't be able to actually understand the true value of it. And to transact hand to hand, more than likely, you're not going to be able to get full value for an ounce of whatever, because we may not understand what an ounce is, because gold especially will have too much value. Silver could have just as much value in a worst case scenario. So that's why it's always good to have fractional, like, 1 gram type thing. So 1 gram gold, 1 gram silver, easier weight to move. They still can carry a punch if need be. But more importantly, it's going to be good to barter with actual real items and skills. So like, there'll be things around your house that you may not use, but somebody else could use it. That's an interchange of goods and service right there for whatever you might need. So anything can be used as a currency when things hit the fan, to where you may not even want to use your gold and silver just because people in your area might right away may not recognize it or want it or whatever. So, a can of beans, a cigars, a bottle of Jack Daniels might be something that you can go a long way. So, but that's an extreme scenario. So I just think, it's good to just have preparedness items, like, anything to do with anything that has a shelf life in a healthy sense, and anything that somebody else can see value in could be of use to anybody. So, but the gold and silver, of course, is more so for the rebuilding side of things down the line. So I personally, in an ideal world, wouldn't want to touch anything of that nature, just because, you still be losing out in comparison to what you can probably buy during the rebuilding phase if things go completely kaput. So that's kind of my 2 cents off the top of my head. So, but man, appreciate you. Yeah, go ahead.
One last question. Do you think that if there were another pandemic, that people would, I wouldn't say tell on each other, but make it known who's not complying? I remember the vaccinated used to say, "Oh, if you're unvaxxed, you're this or you're that, or you're not, going online."
Right.
Do you think that if there was a crackdown or like gun control, and you have, red and blue states, that it will be like how now it's two sides to this war, and some people are going to go after the others that want to stand up for themselves, and they might even report others,
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
are you going to have to cut somebody else?
Yeah. So as you're saying that, what thing comes to mind, in the word of God the other day, biblically speaking, they were saying like, during, the end times, i.e. I'm assuming the tribulation time frame, that, everybody's going to be turning against everybody, mother against son, brother against who, father against kid. I mean, in that environment, there will be no loyalty, because everybody's going to be so conscious and concerned with their own well-being that the chance of you finding people that are loyal outside of your closest immediate circle will probably be rare. So people will rat and snitch on anybody, for a cup of water. It's clean water if it comes down to it. If you ain't got no water, no food for your kids, you're going to snitch with a smile on your face, you know what I'm saying? In an extreme environment. So anything is possible if stuff get that bad, but I'm just praying it doesn't, but who knows? But hey, man, I appreciate you calling though. Let me get some more calls in though, but thanks for the questions. Good questions though. Very good questions. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, that's just, a lot of good questions, man. A lot of good questions. Phone lines are open. I missed a lot of calls. Forgive me. Let me go back here to my man's Mr. Vince. Give me 1 second here. Software acting up on me. Let Let me get rid of this one here. Man, there you go. It says a lot of antichrist areas of the world are being struck. Dubai, Turkey, Iceland, Palestine, Israel, Russia, China flooding. The inner cities of the U.S. Very interesting. Yeah. 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 It's just, very interesting time to say the least. And on a side note here, I shared, I follow I follow because I love learning. So I spend more time scrolling the airwaves for a variety of subjects just because they excite me to learn. That's how I stay plugged in. So anyway, I love watching variety of sermons from anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell if they're anointed within the first couple minutes or if there's just hot fluff. And so here's a sermon that I listened to. Let me put it on the screen real quick. So here's a sermon. I recommend Pastor Nolan. He's pretty solid with his. So I shared this in the community. It says, "When will Jesus come back? Jesus and the End Times Bible Study." Pastor Alan Nolan, and so he's from Cornerstone Fellowship. 176,000. My man he's knowledgeable. His passion is to teach the word. He does a good job. Anyway, so I was watching this last night, and I watched his whole eschatology series. I've watched every video he's done. So from that, I learned a lot. Anyway, he was talking about the sixth seal in the Revelations, when the sixth seal is opened up and the things that come as a result of that. And he was talking about just the natural disasters that will take place. And the volcanoes erupting, the tectonic plates shifting and imploding, every island being swallowed up. And I thought of Iceland being swallowed up. I thought of Hawaii being swallowed up. So, there's going to be an unimaginable amount of natural occurrences that will just millions, billions will die. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a part of the judgment phase for this particular realm to bring everything into conclusion get ready for the millennial reign of Christ, which is what every believer should be more than excited about because we draw closer to it every day. Because I can go on. Anyway, so point in case is in response to what Vince said about all these regions and how things are picking up, and they are picking up, some man-made and according to the script that they're trying to accomplish, but there will be natural occurrences that take place that I just wouldn't want to be around when they go down. That's just me. Okay, ranting too much. Let me get you on here, man. I apologize. I need someone to help me with the phone lines. Anyway, hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
No blood pressure, Corpus Christi. How's it going, Mike?
LBP, I'm doing better now that I'm talking to you. What's going on?
Hey, that's good, Mike. That's good. Mike, look.
Yeah.
This inflation, the printing. I'm talking about the fake, definition of inflation. The price is going up.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember as a kid, like the Toys R Us catalog, and all the kids looking at it, circling. I want this. I want this.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, do I, man? I used to wear that. I used to wear that catalog out all year. Go ahead.
Okay, look, check it out, Mike. They don't have Toys R Us anymore. Now they got Amazon and Walmart, and
Mm-hmm.
But check this out, Mike. There's no prices, Mike. All those 2 books, not one price. They give you some kind of a QR code, a reference code, or description.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go online to look. That's how much the inflation is. Like they don't even put prices in those books anymore.
I haven't looked in a book in a long time, but yeah. So that's another thing. Like I didn't know they still send catalogs, like the big thick boys, just because a lot of those stores are going out of business. So I'm assuming everything is an email now. You get email and little pamphlets in the mail, but
those little kids that can't circle, the email,
Yeah.
The computer, Mike. How they get a circle?
Oh man, yeah, it's so this upcoming holiday season, Christmas season, like Black Friday deals, I'm already looking and seeing all types of stuff, and they're like, just be patient because then Black Friday sales will not be as good as they have been in the past because people don't have discretionary income. All the stimulus checks is gone, and the credit cards is maxed out for some. So give it a little time because they might have another sale, and they'll use it as like they're gonna lie to us and say the volume was so high, the profits are so great, we got to do it again. And damn well they lying. They just got to keep the sales going because nobody's showing up like that. So so just be patient because there's gonna be a lot of things on sale for years to come. So,
well, right now, Mike, last year I got a bunch of kilo bars from SD Bullion for I think I paid $736. That's with the credit card. Last year, there was some good deals.
Getting your weight up, man. You are like I would probably say, out of everybody in the community, you are probably most enthusiastic out of everybody of leveraging the debt system to get your weight up. So, it's just your system obviously works good for you. And I'm assuming a lot of other people who've heard you throughout the years have probably done the same thing. So that's the LBP way. Go.
When this all goes down, Mike, nobody's going to pay nothing back, Mike. If the banks, the government can't even pay debt, you think we're going to be? You think when the elderly start getting Social Security checks, you think they're going to care about the credit card payments?
I hope it's that simple because they gonna get their slice of the pie somehow. I can give you a couple of ways they gonna get it, but I ain't gonna rain on your parade, man. But hey, I appreciate you calling. Be good. Yeah, be good. Be good. Yeah. Oh man. A lot of energy tonight, man. But that's all she wrote, man. We'll dial back. Went longer than anticipated. But for the people who called in, I appreciate your feedback and input. And definitely I'll do the best I can. And so for those who want to support beyond your presence, feel free to support monetarily. Anything helps because there's also an incentive to stay on the grind. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being rewarded for my time. And so if you guys want to, Patreon is an opportunity to become a member, or you can one time a donation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything will help for those who find value in what we're doing here. So links are in the description. And other than that, people, this just, as I mentioned, for all my believers, man, we should always be praying and praising, but definitely let's consider what could be moving forward. It's going to be a lot of deliberate events and attacks, aka persecution of believers of truth. So anyway, that's all she wrote for tonight, man. I'm not going to rant no more. I'm not going to waste your time. I want to, saying it's getting late, depending where you're at. But appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. That definitely helps. And also, if you find value, share the video. Invite some people to the community, and let's have them join us so we can all hang out a little bit. But all right, my good people, I will see you guys tomorrow.